All right, we're going to get started this morning. And let's see, I hear a lot of noise in the background. If you can hear it, we can hear it. So you may want to mute yourself by just pressing *6. And let me mute us. Okay, let's see. Great, we're in good shape. We're going to do our lesson for the day first. And as we're doing the lesson, I'd really love for you to be thinking about how we're going to put it into action. This is one of my favorite topics, and one of the most important topics when we start talking about success and wealth building. One of my teachers used to say, "Where your mind goes, your behind will follow." And I used to laugh at that, but you know, when you really begin to think about it, that's absolutely true. And so, where your mind goes, your behind will follow, and where your mind goes is really your imagination. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because many of us are seeking success in whatever fashion. You know, it may be that continuous realization of a worthwhile purpose, which is really what success is in the most fundamental sense. But also many of us measure success by cars and money and people and trips and things like that. So whatever it is that you measure your success by, your imagination is going to be a powerful asset in bringing about that success. You know, imagination is really your power to form mental images of something not present in the senses. In other words, Albert Einstein, and I think Einstein is one of the great brains of our time, said that imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the whole world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. So your imagination is really the connecting link between your human consciousness and the universal consciousness. You know, through your imagination, the formless energy of the universal mind becomes the formed universe in your own mind, and thus your life experience. Now, let's just think about that. Your power of imagination can be used to see beyond the appearances of your present situation to the possibilities of who you really are or who you want to become. So if the imagination is the connecting link between where you are and where you want to be, let me tell you something, folks, that's a powerful link. You know, whatever, you know, one of the great motivation speakers used to say, if you can see it, you can be it. If you can't see it, you won't be it. In other words, all you really can do, you just have to realize the vision you have of yourself. In order to realize that vision, you must plug into what I like to call higher consciousness to raise your energy level. Who you are is really a vibrational level. You know, sometimes when you're around people who seem to be unhappy or uncentered, their energy level is low. You can feel it. They have a low energy level, and when you come into their space, they seem to suck your energy right out of you. But as you begin to move on your success journey, then you increase your energy, your vibration level. When you increase your vibration level, you become magnetic and begin to attract into your life and into your experience that which you're seeking. In order to do that, you know, I'm a strong proponent of meditation. How do you raise your energy level so that you can attract the success and the wealth that you're seeking? And really, I think the most powerful foundation for this type of attraction is to use the powers of meditation. Now, you don't have to go into a formal meditational class, but it's an idea when you can bring yourself to a rested state. We often call it an alpha state. and in that rested, peaceful condition, to create visual images in your mind of each and every aspect of that which you're seeking, of each and every aspect of your vision. You know, all of you probably know my favorite song is I Believe I Can Fly. And one of the lines is if you can see it, you can be it. And so as we pursue the wealth, the success of whatever nature that we're after, the power of the imagination is probably your most powerful link, probably your most powerful connector to take you from where you are to where you want to be. So what I like to do each day, and I think that it's a good idea to practice this. In other words, to relax yourself. Many of you notice that when I do trainings, I often open with a meditation, and I say, you know, my mind is open and receptive, you know, to that which I'm learning. I'm at peace with myself. Once you put yourself in that relaxed state, and you know that your mind is open and receptive to all beneficial ideas, then you just let go and let your mind flow, commanding the universal mind to reveal each and every good idea that will help implement your vision. You know, we often use vision boards and these picture boards to help us create our vision, our success path. Well, that's just stimulating the imagination. So imagination is one of your most powerful tools to create success and to create wealth, because it is not bound by your current reality. I recommend that you buy magazines, you buy books, you go to videos, that you begin to expand your imagination, and that which you focus on grows. After you practice, and I would recommend that every day, Tony Robbins calls it the hour of power, that every day before you start your day, you sit in a relaxed state and take a deep breath and say, I am at peace with myself, and I visualize and see that which I am seeking. And you begin to really focus on it and see it in each and every detail. It will come to pass. After a little practice, ideas will begin to flow freely from your subconscious mind into your conscious mind. Record these ideas in a systematic fashion so that you can implement them in the future. Anything your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Anything your mind can conceive and achieve, anything your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. There are two types of imagination. There's synthetic imagination and creative imagination. Synthetic imagination is imagination that evolves from existing concepts, existing ideas, existing plans arranged into new combinations. In other words, this type of imagination operates through education and observation. It's really an extension of your current reality. A genius, though, uses synthetic imagination to create something totally new. A genius almost creates something out of nothing. Your creative imagination, though, is where you have a direct connection and communication with universal consciousness. You know, creative imagination is the faculty through which hunches and inspiration come. So many of us have good ideas, and we simply do not act on them. And you know, I think the law of the talents from the Bible says that any talent that you're given, any good idea that you're given, any blessing that you're given, if you don't act on it, it will pass on to someone else. And so genius is often just paying attention to the hunches and the ideas that come to you. I guarantee you that every one of you on this call, every one of you watching on the internet has had some good ideas, some things that you want to do, be, and have, and you didn't write them down. You know, the first law, the law of vision says, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Though it may carry weight for it, it will surely come to pass. And so, if you have these good ideas, these hunches that come to you from universal consciousness, and don't act on them, don't write them down, then they pass on to someone else. Creative imagination really communicates through the subconscious mind of other people. It operates often as a sixth sense. What you feel about other people, that hunch that you get inside. You know, there's some people that come into your space and you feel real good about them. And there are others that come into your space and you don't feel that necessarily that good about them. Well, this is all a part of that creative communication that takes place between human beings. You know, it is often said, when two or more minds are gathered on one accord, I am, which is the making power, okay, is among them. In other words, two or more minds who agree to do something together have the ability to make it happen. Okay? But the other side of that is two or more minds in discord. Also, the I am power is working, and it's negative, it's destructive. When two or more minds are operating in discord, nothing but destruction. The house is destroyed, it all collapses. And so creative imagination, when it's funneled through people acting on one accord, can create things that never were. You know, there's a passage that says, he speaks of things that never were as though they are. And that is the manifestation through the mouth of imagination. In your mind, you can see things that never were as though you want them to be. And the power of the creative imagination is that it will manifest. It's not bound by reality. It's not bound by law. It's only bound by the universal consciousness and manifestation. Your creative imagination can compensate for your lack of experience. And there's a nice tie-in between imagination and desire. In other words, that when a person has a deep creative imagination, even without experience, they can often outperform another person who has more experience but a weak creative imagination. And so, if we are to use creative imagination more effectively in the creation of success and the creation of the wealth that we are seeking, let us look at how to do that. Number one, ways to develop your creative imagination: stimulate your mind by reading. Reading is the process by which great minds are developed. A daily, and I'll say that again, a daily reading program is a powerful tool that can expand the scope of your thoughts and enhance your powers of imagination. One of the reasons to get out of your comfort zone and to travel to places that you've never been and to meet people that you've never met before is to expand your awareness, to expand your concept, expand your vision, exposure. You know, those who've not been exposed to much probably won't do much. Why? Because they have not fed their creative imagination to connect them with the universal consciousness that will give them the power to manifest that which they're seeking. Without exposure, you tend to go around in circles and experience that which you've always experienced before. We call it a rut or a comfort zone. Read material that stimulates your thinking. You know, one of the challenges I find with everybody, I was in New York and watching on the subway, and everybody had some earphones on. Some had these big earphones that covered the entire ear, so that the only thing they could hear was the music playing. Music has a hypnotic effect, and I think it may undermine the ability to see through your imagination. So Read material that stimulates your thinking, that challenges your personal belief system, and that inspires you to right action. Number 2, way to develop your creative imagination. Practice your imagination skills on a daily basis. Imagination is a skill to be developed and mastered. Every form and shape originated in the imagination. Every building that you see originated in somebody's imagination. Every created thing began in somebody's imagination. It is through the imagination that the formless takes form. You know, I love artists, painters especially, because they can look at a blank canvas, and out of that canvas comes a magnificent and beautiful work. Where does it come from? Where do the choice of colors, where do the shapes come from? It comes from the imagination. If you look at some of the works of Leonardo da Vinci, you can see that his imagination was so profound that he was not bound by time. 400 or 500 years ago, he was actually drawing helicopters and flying machines and things that did not manifest in the world for hundreds of years later. Okay. To be most effectively, develop your imagination skills. Use the techniques of relaxation and meditation. On a daily basis, put yourself in that alpha state. Find a place to sit quietly. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing and relax. Visualize familiar objects first. You know, see the things that you possess, the car, the house, the furnishings, the clothing, right? Things that really impressed your experience of life. And then then evolve to seeing your goals, your thoughts, and your ideas as visual images in your mind. You may see the confines of your house, but you may visualize the view from your penthouse. And the more you get into that view, you begin to create that harmonic relationship with that which you're seeing, so that you become magnetic and attract into your space that which you need to make that which you're seeing in your imagination a reality. Number 3, ways to develop your creative imagination. Have goals you want to achieve and the purpose you want to realize clearly in your mind. Have your goals and your purpose clearly in your mind. Develop mental images of the goals you wish to accomplish and a general idea of your life purpose. You know, in our business, most of us, and I always recommend that we develop monetary goals simply because it's easier to keep score. But also begin to develop a goal of yourself. I know my personal monetary goals are really tied in with helping other people create a certain level of income. Okay? When I begin to visualize my purpose, it comes down in a general sense of being, I consider myself to be a transformational speaker, a transformational teacher, instead of a motivational speaker. In other words, when I visualize myself, I see myself empowering people to be, do, and have more. Okay? And in doing so, empowering myself to do, be, and have more. When you put your goals down, write them down in the shortest, simplest, most concise way. Your goals must be definite and specific. Describe each goal in the most sensory fashion. And one of the beauties of using this with your imagination is when you describe it in the most sensory fashion, you can actually see it and actually feel it as it's beginning to manifest. How does it look? How does it feel? How does it smell? Then analyze and organize your goals to help reveal your purpose. Most of us in this industry of network marketing tend to be great teachers and people who really care about other people. And as we begin to have more success, we'll find that we impact more other people and learn more and become more. The 4th way to improve your creative imagination is to develop your powers of concentration. Concentration is a learned skill. It is the process by which you focus your attention on a particular thought, time, or outcome. In other words, concentration is the application of the law of focus. Whatever you must have a single eye to see that which you're seeking. Your powers of concentration come from your willpower and your self-discipline. You know, concentration ties in with the law of persistence. It ties in with the law of visualization. It ties in with the law of action. In other words, concentration is the focusing of your thoughts, of your energies, of your emotions, of your desire on a particular outcome. Your concentration, when you develop your powers of concentration by focusing your attention on your actions and your feelings, on your goals, then these things that we are seeking, feeling, and acting will manifest. And finally, the fifth key to improving your creative imagination is to always control your moods and emotions. Moods and emotions are the vehicles used by the saboteur, the negative part of you, to create distractions, discouragement, distrust, doubt, indecision, and procrastination. If your moods and emotions are not under your control, your emotion may say, I'm tired, and quit. Your imagination must say, keep moving. Your moods may say that people don't like me, don't relate to me, and they don't care about me. Your imagination must say that does not matter. Make them your friends. Make yourself indispensable so they cannot ignore you. The saboteur is neutralized by taking possession of your thoughts in such strength or degree that your mind, your body, your instincts are under your control. Remember, whatever you recognize, you energize. And whatever you energize, you realize. So don't recognize anything that you don't want to experience in your life. Creative imagination is enhanced by creative thinking. And creative thinking is finding new and better ways to do things. Success in any particular endeavor generally centers on finding new and better ways to do things. As we, as a team and as a group and as a company, move along on our success journey, then we will find that our power of imagination becomes our blueprint for our success. That the success or wealth that we desire to create depends directly on the power of our creative imagination and our ability to concentrate on that which we are seeking. When we let our imagination roam, wherever our imagination leads, our life will follow. So imagine success. See it in each and every respect. Look at it and see how it feels, how it smells, how it moves. Imagine wealth. See how it feels, see how it smells, see how it moves. See each and every aspect of it. One of the great things about being in New York is you see so many, you might say, symbols, material symbols of wealth. Not that that's all there is, but it certainly can stimulate you when you see some of the Maseratis and some of the, I'm a car person, so cars get my attention. And so as I begin to visualize my daily progress and see through my imagination where I want to be, the things I want to do, the things I want to have, the greater amount of exposure that you have, the greater will be your ability to use your imagination, to get that which you're seeking, to become the person you want to be, and to realize your life purpose. Imagination is the blueprint for your success and the foundation for your life. And so it is.